Ladies and gentlemen, this is IRELKING, or also going by the ID nowadays of Aeleri. He is the rank 1 Irelia player on the Korean server, rocking a win rate of 75% in Challenger, 75.8% in Challenger, with an average creep score of 12.6 CS per minute. Seems balanced, doesn't it? Seems to lose when behind. He does snowball. He's a godlike Irelia, a Kali lover, and Yasuo lover because he just doesn't play anything else, which is kind of weird. But yeah, he is a Irelia, pretty much one trick at this point, and he is predominantly playing her in the mid lane. He is predominantly playing his champion in the mid lane. Seems to be queuing secondary role top lane. So that is very interesting because most of the clips I've seen of him, I felt like he's been playing top lane. But as it turns out, he does predominantly play mid lane. So overall 60% win rate is also pretty good, but obviously everything's hard carried by the Irelia win rate here, which we are going to look at a game played on the Korean server, and he is going to be going off against one of the scariest Sylas players, the best Sylas in the world. This is going to be Zeka, the current reigning world champion, on his strongest, his comfort pick, as we will jump into the game here on the Rift in the top lane. For the blue team, there is a Jax. For the red team, a Jace. Red team has a Gragas in the jungle, facing off against a Viego, and in the bot lane, there is an Alistar and a Tristana for the blue team, facing off against Aeleri and a Nautilus on the red team. And then obviously there is the matchup that we are all concerned with, which is going to be Aeleri versus Zeka. Right, so the matchup generally with Irelia is that Irelia has incredible power spikes, and she is very, very scary, and can find really good all-in timings, right? And interestingly enough, similar thing goes for Sylas. The thing with Sylas, there is this kind of rule that most people play by, is don't push into Sylas, right? Because you don't want to push into Sylas. He can chase you down. He can do all kinds of things to you, right? His passive, his early E, he's very strong. However, for Irelia, hitting an early level 2 is very important. So we will see how exactly Aeleri plays around it, as before he has his passive, he has to be a little bit careful with Sylas. So we will see how exactly that one goes. Okay, so this already communicates to Zeka that he is going to go in for a Q, right? So the spacing as Irelia, you can kind of tell the enemy that you're going to use the Q, or you walk into minion range. And so here, yeah, Zeka gets a really good trade onto IRELKING just by predicting the fact that he is going to go for the minion. And then once he goes for the minion, he goes for the trade. And the chains, because he knows that IRELKING is going to jump on another minion. IRELKING now, just trading into the Sylas here. Doing his best. It is a 50-50 trade, as... well, actually, it's a slightly Sylas favored trade, which now goes in favor of IRELKING, right? As he did get first blood, yes. So, very, very insane fight here already to start it out. As we are going to jump back and we're going to have a look at this beauty of a fight again. So here, right? Aeleri is taking damage from all the minions. So you can't underestimate that, especially since he is running MR as the runes, right? Or as the glyphs. And his passive currently at 2 stacks. He's going to try and stack that up. 1 Q. Passive is stacked up. Finds the all-in. And here, Sylas is going to connect with the chain, right? And here, a beautiful flash out of the Irelia. And Zeka misflashing a little bit, with Aeleri obviously queuing in. And this is the point where Irelia even secures herself a kill, because if that didn't happen, then Sylas would have killed her, right? But the flash and the Q allowed IRELKING in this case to outspace Sylas, put himself outside of Sylas's auto attack range, thus getting off the first attack because range advantage. Ends up going down to the minions anyway because the place where it's fought is favorable here for Sylas. And so we both end up teleporting back, and the lane kind of goes back with the fact that, obviously, Dark Seal here available for the Sylas, a longsword, and a refillable potion available for the Irelia, which gold-wise should be a slight advantage, but ends up not really doing anything. With the wave state, that is now slow pushing into the Irelia, which can be very scary, obviously, as the Sylas, as Irelia will get a lot of stacks, a lot of ways to stack up her passive. You see that, yeah, you see that IRELKING is trying to take a lot of aggressive trades here. With the level 2, he will take down the Sylas with the help of a Gragas flash. Beautiful stun and very well played here by IRELKING, as he set that stun up very, very intelligently. Where Viego prompted to flash here, would have gotten dove otherwise, but Aeleri feels like he can take down this Viego anyhow. Does take down the Viego, will go down with him. Little bit of XP lost, quicker recall though, as the death timers at this point in the game just slightly longer than the recall timer. So he is going to be on the map once again, and he will make his way back into the mid lane. Honestly, not a bad choice to die under the turret there, as obviously you will get back instantly, and Zeke can't really interrupt you. No gold going over to Zeke anyhow, which means it is just a pure 1-for-1, and you get a better recall, right? So, Vem Scepter here available now as the bot lane. Looking real scary. 2-1 Tristana is not what you want to see, as the fighting will continue in this lane, obviously. Now it is the blue team's time to gank, as IRELKING will go for the stun, and he will... Oh, he will outdamage here, and he will take down the Viego, but trades himself for the Viego in this case, as Jax was not quite there quick enough. Yeah. And Zeke is going to be denied the freeze here by the Gragas. Solid job by Gragas. As the cannon minion just goes down. Minus 75 to the Sylas. That's kind of unfortunate for him. As well, yeah. So this is at this point is a huge lead here for IRELKING. But you know, it's Zeke. He does bounce back very well, so we will see how exactly. We gave him a freeze. This is not the best roam timing, as you gave the Sylas a freeze right now, who could be responding by roaming as well. Now in this play there is no response roam available, right? Because it ended with Irelia arriving. It ended before Irelia was arriving, let's be honest. As, yeah, Zeke is just going to shove this in, create a bounce back, right? So whenever you push a wave into the turret and the minions gather up on the minions that are still in the turret, the wave is eventually going to bounce back into you, which means that the red minions here will focus down the blue minions, or will focus down one of the blue minions. Concentrated, taking that one down and thus reducing the DPS. It shan't matter because IRELKING will just blitz through the wave anyhow. Solid drop here by the Sylas, who is setting up for a gank here. Yeah. Irelia will find herself surrounded. The stun will lock her down for a second here, as Viego doing his best to deal some damage, but stays safe enough. Will take down with the final stun, will take down the Irelia. Barely. Now minion stuck, because yeah, minion block is a great thing. And well, yeah, that was a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too cocky, but honestly didn't feel like he needed to be in that situation. It kind of felt like he chose to try to fight this. And I do understand. In this case, is Jax going to be taken down here by the Jace. Oof. Ooh, Gragas knows exactly what's going on here. As Viego will be taking, well, most of the camp here. something goes over to Gragas, but not too big of a concern. Yeah, try to dive in Alistar. Good luck. As Silas now has picked up for himself some Ionian boots and, you know, just a couple of items. Nothing really too major, which is a bit of an issue here for him, because on Irelia now we see Vampiric Scepter, Pickaxe, and Double Dagger with boots, which is going to not only make this Irelia incredibly strong at roaming, but also lethal in the 1v1. We'll see how exactly Zeka can try to deal with this, as obviously Irelia is really good, went ahead really good at snowballing these melee matchups. Oh, the stun is avoided here. Very good job by the Silas, but the gank will come through, and that is a kill picked up on to Zeka here. It's actually a really good ultimate by the Gragas. Will secure the kill. And now IRELKING. Very much in the lead here of this lane. The teleport will come through as he will just blitz through the wave. Very good setup on the wave. If you saw the wave there exactly, he knew exactly which minion he had to attack to stack his Q. And then once he stacked his Q, he knew how much damage he would deal. Very solid job as Silas looking for a Gragas here. A flash into the ultimate. We are going to catch out the Gragas. We are going to hunt him down as Viego will join us, and we will take down the Gragas. Now it's Irelia's turn though to cast that ultimate as the Gragas. Oh my god, yeah, the Gragas on the Viego just way too strong as Irelia just overestimating her damage with the Blade of the Rune King there in hand. And will be taken down by Zeka? I think it was Zeka. But very good job by Viego, obviously using that W to get rid of some of the damage dealt to him. Oh, very good job here by Nautilus. Is going to try to freeze this. With Zeri coming on, yeah, Zeka's got to be a little bit more careful here. But no level 6 available for the Nautilus, unfortunately. Imagine he like hit level 6 off of one minion there and just takes down the... could have been scary. Zeka just doing typical... This is a typical Zeka thing. This is so Zeka, you have no idea how Zeka this is. He just like dashes into people, just tries to get the farm and then walk away. Trades flash for flash with the AD carry. Honestly, not too bad, except the fact that obviously you are facing off against IRELKING, and you're gonna need that flash in hand. No longer is there though, so it's gonna be rough. Tristana is still in the bottom side of the map. Alistar doing the best he can to prevent more turret damage, but honestly, it doesn't really do much. His Nautilus still not level 6. Should be hitting it pretty soon though, after getting what, like additional 2 waves here. As Silas will be annoyed by the Zeri. At this point, Zeri doesn't really do that much damage. Nautilus here caught off guard and taken down by the Viego, which is absolutely great for him. As IRELKING going to be moving in here. The switcheroo out of the Tristana and the Irelia. They swap places and everyone gets away happy. Well, I'm sure that Irelia not super happy about that trade and about how that went. You would think that an Irelia one trick would know that interaction, but you know, it does happen. As here the Gragas cast now available for Silas. It's gonna help him disengage. Yeah. He just throws it to farm out the minions and disengage because he knows can't deal with the Blade of the Rune King Irelia. That is way too strong. Blade of the Rune King is a ridiculous item anyhow, and especially on Irelia. As Aeleri gonna take his base now. The IRELKING back, getting some Ionian boots as another kill taken onto the Jax here by the Jace. Solid job on that one as well. Zeka is gonna push out another wave. Move together with his bot side. Or well, together with his jungle and support into the bot side. Zeri will take down Tristana, but is the revenge going to be a possibility? Gotta be careful. Gotta prevent the power slide here. Yeah, as she will be taken down, given over to the Viego. Silas not going to be able to stop the Nautilus, as the Nautilus ultimate is cast to get himself to safety. Zeka gotta be a little bit careful here with the Irelia. Those chains could have absolutely killed you. I want to point that out. As the Silas ultimate is available in a couple of seconds, so Nautilus ultimate could come in handy here. If we steal it, is probably going to take it. No, he takes the Irelia ultimate instead. will take down the Nautilus, but now Irelia's turn to deal damage. She will take down Zeke and deal a lot of damage to the Alistar. Now preparing herself for a kill setup onto the... Oh my god, and with incredible speed of execution, he will get himself to safety as well. Tristana not quite getting in that final auto attack to finish off the Irelia. Takes down the Alistar and jumps back to the minions quickly in order for the Tristana just to get in one too few auto attacks. That is so sad. But super well played here by Aeleri. What a force to be reckoned with as a Noon Quiver now built. Hooking us into the AD carry items. Now, obviously, I am expecting a shield bow here, but, you know, there are some other options, but it's pretty much just shield bow on Irelia. Are you gonna need more dashes? No. Are you gonna need more damage? No. You're gonna need survivability and lifesteal? Yes. So yeah, the W will mitigate some damage, but holy moly, that is a lot of damage coming down. As with the Irelia here in hands now, Viego doing a super solid job here, and still super high Zeke damage as well. As the Jace is forced to flash out. The Zeke flash will get him a kill though. Bonus 700 gold shutdown here to Zeke. A very solid job as Zeke. Bouncing back very strong in those skirmishes. That is exactly what can happen if you're facing off against Zeke. Yeah, maybe you win the lane because it's a favorable matchup and you got ganked and you're lucky and also. But he's going to be bouncing back. He's always ready. Always ready to find another kill, find another good ultimate angle to get himself ahead again. As the Jax just going to be taken down here by Aeleri. This will bolster his stats, but not do too much else, as 0 and 5. This guy is not giving a lot of money. He is a glorified cannon minion at this point. Cannon minion with skills. Or maybe also without skills, depending on how you look at it, right? IRELKING going to shove in the wave as, yeah, Sylas is waiting for that wave in a safe position here. Smart play by the man. As now we are looking for the all-in here, or actually on the gank. For the gank on the Sylas. Yeah, I mean, Zeke would have probably lost that fight anyhow, but massive Gragas damage coming out. As Aeleri now in a little bit of trouble. Will get himself to safety with a beautiful stun Q flash. Oh, everything is so smooth whenever you see this guy play. As Tristana trying to get herself into her turret's range here. The Nautilus ultimate is dodged by a 22-second basic ability. It's got to be feeling a little bit bad. As Viego now trying to get the setup onto the Nautilus. It is happening, and so the Tristana ultimate back there was a really good choice, but greeting over the wall here by the Viego. He will be taken down by Jace, who was lurking and preparing. Very, very solid job by the red team here at springing that trap. Jax will just do Jax things and evade, and Sylas will do Sylas things and take down the Irelia. But the Jace teleport coming in here, very strong teleport, very balanced spell indeed, which is why we always see it on pretty much everything in high elo that isn't an AD carry or a support or a jungler. Obviously we still need it on junglers. We still need to kind of invent that meta, but you know, that's some 2025 type stuff, you know. We'll see eventually. Right, we'll rework it, and just the way they did it with Irelia. With Irelia, yeah, actually with Irelia as well. The way they did it with Irelia and also Yuumi, we'll just make it a little bit more broken on rework again. So 2025, teleporting to jungle camps is going to be happening. 100% confirmed. Right, so IRELKING now just picking up as much money as you can, farming his jungler's camps and making his way towards the bottom side of the map here. He's going to shove that out and probably look for a roam here as Zeke finds himself in the mid lane. Not in the side lane, not ready to respond to anything that will be done here. Instead, going to be focusing up on the Herald. Herald can be very, very good here as Aeleri wants to defend this turret by any means, but Herald will just be picked up here as Jax finding a fight here onto the Jace. Will be avoiding the Q as the Viego comes in, ready to get that takedown, but oh my god, the Jace is able to avoid, and Jax will finally find the kill here on to the, oh my god. Oh, we'll find the kill onto the Jace. Actually went over to Viego though, which looked kind of weird, because it definitely should have gone over to the Jax, but then, oh my god, with IRELKING arriving at the fight, I would have never expected Sylas to win that. Ooh, as Zeka will fail his E, but beautifully just takes down the Aeleri. And Zeka's just a little bit strong, man. Oh, I'm such a big fan of this guy. God, I love Zeka. Such an animal. Such an animal player. Greg is looking for some sneaky business here. Zeka knows. Zeka knows. Zeka smart. Zeka did walk away. And for now, IRELKING picking up some of his jungler's camps once again. This time it is going to be the red buff a little bit more justified. Justicated. Wanted to say that. I don't know why. I don't know what. Doesn't make any sense. As we are going to be jumping through the minions here as IRELKING just blitzing through them at this point. Mortal Shield Bow completed and the Heartbound Axe. Going to drop some magic resist on the name as here. There is a fight onto the bot lane, but they have their team in the back, so you got to be very careful with that one as Aeleri is not assassinated here by the Tristana bomb. The whole fight goes out in favor of the red team. And now, Zeka getting caught out here. No stun available for Irelia anymore. The Cask and the Irelia ultimate are going to be dodged here by the Sylas. Sylas has Nautilus ultimate available, but no fight available anymore as Alistar just taken down. Lot of resources invested though by the red team here. A lot of summoner spells, right? Aeleri ghosting away as well. So that could end up setting up for a good amount of kills pretty soon. But for that, the Jax would have been... Jax needed to teleport here if you want to get that surround. As now, the blue team in a bit of trouble here. Got to be a little bit careful. Viego finding good flank. And putting the red team here under pressure to perform right now as... 3 people taken down here out of the blue team. The red team standing tall with Sylas being the last one to go down. Well, except Jax, who was perma pushing in the side lane. Still didn't teleport back. Looks like silver player to me. As it seems like the red team is going to attempt to take down the Nexus here. Could be a little bit difficult, but Jax will be receiving a lot of damage, will be going down, and that is the game actually just finished out of a Herald push by the red team. Very solid job by the red team. Jax absolutely just inting that game. And I mean, let's be honest, Zeka did all he could. He stayed alive for a long time, but it didn't eventually matter. And the kill, the win, goes over to the red team. Kill on the Nexus. Win to the red team. And thus to IRELKING. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay awesome.